and welcome to day 3. Yesterday morning, Johnson tweeted a link to this piece in the Wall Street Journal that was written by a girl who's a high school senior who apparently got rejected from a whole bunch of colleges. And like, I have been there, I know that feeling, I get that, but I just don't feel like the article was written very well. I don't feel like it addressed the issues in a particularly intelligent way, and I do think that there are real issues in there, so that is what we are reading about today. The thing about college admissions is that there are like two distinct parts of the process. There's the part that exists to advertise the school and basically to sell the school to you and make you want to go there, and then there's the part that determines whether or not you get into the college. So basically what happens in a lot of cases is that colleges go, hey, look how great we are, don't you want to come here so much? Wouldn't this be so much fun? Oh, sorry, you're just not quite good enough for this. And yes, the college admissions process is, more complicated than that, but in a couple of cases, that's what I was hearing. I think my biggest mistake was that I just had it in my head that since I got, pretty good grades, I did extracurricular activities, and I was just good at taking standardized tests, that I had in my head that I didn't really need to worry about colleges. And maybe that's because that's kind of what society tells us that you've got to do. And so I probably didn't put as much work into the multitude of essays that I had to write as I should have, and maybe I just didn't get quite enough grades or I didn't have the right fits. I just have literally no way of knowing why I got rejected or waitlisted from the colleges that I did. And the thing is, especially with those top tier schools, which were largely the ones that I was applying to, they get so many applications and have such a limited number of spaces that at a certain point that decision has got to be a little bit arbitrary. It's impossible to get a sense of a person from a transcript and a resume and an essay and to figure out whatever mysterious quality called fit that a lot of these colleges seem to be looking for these days. And so that means that a lot of smart, qualified kids aren't getting into the colleges they want to, and that stinks. But there's nothing that can really be done about that. So I think what really needs to change in this situation is the way that we are looking at colleges. Kids and teenagers these days are basically just getting stuff thrown at them about college and how important college is and how all of these things that you need to do to make sure you get into a good college. And then in high school you start getting all of these letters and postcards and emails from colleges basically throwing themselves at you. And then you apply and you interview and you talk to current students who say things like, if you belong here, you'll get in. And all the while the college has been putting a lot of effort into convincing you that you belong there. And all of society has been telling you for 18 years that getting into a good college is the most important thing in your life. And your entire life has been basically leading up to this. In high school, everybody asks you where you're applying and you compare SAT scores and make Facebook statuses about where you get into, and it just seems like every single thing you do is to prepare for college. And I know that waiting for and getting college decisions was easily the most anxiety I've had in my entire life, and after I got those decisions and was largely rejected and waitlisted, I'd had a crisis. And that's just really not a good place to be, and there's gotta be something that can be done about that. Because there is just so much hype and so much pressure and so much stuff going into this battle that sometimes you just can't win. I could be wrong about this, I'm just a college freshman, I have not yet been into the real world, but I don't really think that where you go to college is the most important thing in your life. I do think that going to college is really important, but there are a lot of different colleges out there with a lot of different ranges of acceptances and programs, and there are a lot of really good schools where you can get good education without going crazy over stuff. Which I wish I had known 2 years ago, but I was busy being inundated with information to the contrary. Now I'm a college freshman, and it took me a really long time to get over those feelings, and I've made a couple of other videos where I kind of grapple with dealing with where I ended up on the other side of the college admissions process. But the thing is, now I'm in college, I'm at a good university, and even though it's nowhere near my top choice, I'm really happy with my life and with where I am, and I can't help but wonder why I had to go through all of that strife. And well, in a ridiculous oversimplification of the matter, it's because society told me to. The expectations placed upon high schoolers are just so much more ridiculous than they need to be. I'm still a little bit bitter about my rejections, but I'm happy with my life. I probably could have done better on some parts of my college applications, but I have no way of knowing whether that would have made a difference in any of my final decisions. And I think the big picture here is that we, as a society, need to kind of do something about the way that we are looking at college and the way that we are making kids look at college. I don't know, if you are a student at any level, or a person and you want to weigh in on this at all, totally chime in comments. I know this is a really complicated issue that I have somewhat mixed feelings on, but I just hope that I was able to convey something coherent somewhere here. And if anyone has any suggestions for future VEDA video topics, feel free to let me know as well. Bye-bye.